Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Amazon's Attack #1. This is a new book from DC Comics. Let's take a look at the creative team before we get into this book. This book is written by Josie Campbell, with art by Vasco, Georgiev, and colors by Guimarães, and letters by Becca, Carey. Now, before I even get into any of this stuff, this book very smartly summarizes a lot of the stuff that's been going on in the world of the Amazons, right? We have multiple tribes of Amazons now, with the Escasita, where Yara comes from. We have the Banamingdal, and of course, the Amazons from Themyscira, all being now ruled by one ruler, who's Nubia, but they are still kind of like independent of each other. So we have a quick summary of events. We have the trial that happened after the murder of Hippolyta. We have the coronation of the new leader, Nubia. We have the revenge as the gods threaten the Amazons. And we have the attack, which kicked off with the Wonder Woman issue #1 from Tom King and Daniel St. Pierre. So I will tell you, and I sent this out on social media, you want to read Wonder Woman #2 before you check this out. It has a prologue, or it has a prelude to this story. You don't have to, but I would recommend you do that. I would also even recommend you read Wonder Woman issues #1 and 2, which should already be out. Wonder Woman comes out the same day as this. We have a review for that on the channel. And also Wonder Woman 1 came out prior to this. So I would recommend reading those two things because they really have changed the status quo of Amazons really worldwide. And then this book just kind of goes into more of what are the other tribes, what's everyone else of the Amazons doing, not just following Diana. The Wonder Woman book follows Diana. This series seems like it's going to be following everyone else and the consequences of dealing with all those things. So enough of a preamble. Let me give you the synopsis for this book. In this issue, after the shocking events of Wonder Woman, the Amazons are now fighting for a world that no longer wants them, led by their fearless leader, Queen Nubia. A ragtag group of Amazons featuring Wonder Girl and Faruka II frantically search for answers as their existence and way of life are threatened. Will the tribes survive their new reputation? Find out in this roller coaster of a debut issue, brought to you by rising star Josie Campbell, who has written the new Champion of Shazam, and artist Vasco Georgiev, who's worked on Batman Urban Legends. This series promises to be an action-packed adventure featuring the greatest warrior women in the DCU, not EU. That's the films. So yeah, I mean, this is just a really good companion book to fill you in on the world. Like if you are here for Wonder Woman and the Amazons, you want to be reading this and Wonder Woman, right? This is all fallout from that. The world has changed. And even if you haven't read Wonder Woman, this book does a really good job of getting you caught up on everything that's going on, giving you enough context in the world of how the public opinion has changed. So Josie Campbell very efficiently just kind of brings you back up into this world and sets up the big problem for the rest of the Amazons, right? Wonder Woman's off dealing with whatever she's dealing with. That it's not inconsequential to this book, but overall, it doesn't play a big part into the problem that now faces Nubia and the rest of the Amazons. So really cool stuff. This one feels a bit like I guess both books now feel kind of like political thrillers, which is really fun to see that in comic books. So let's go into the art. Let's look at some preview art here. Once again, Vasco Georgiev as well, just like really capturing what the state of the world very smartly. Campbell and Georgiev using the news to expose, right, to give us some exposition. But then you zoom out and then you see it's not just these 4 channels. It's like news from all over the world. These are all in different languages. And then we see Nubia, and she's brought information about the problems, and now she's got to deal with them. One thing that I do love that they're exploring is Nubia's relationship with her partner, which is like really interesting, right? She has to go into battle all on her own, but of course, that's got to be tough, like in any relationship, doing things on your own, and especially when the rest of the world kind of has it out for you has to be difficult. And this is just a very small part of this book. Like I said, the book really dives into the more political thriller type of stuff. Later on, of course, we have some amazing action. We have some other characters that show up, as you've seen in the cover. You can kind of imagine. So yeah, this was just a whole lot of fun, and it's just a great book to follow along and see what else is going on with the rest of the Amazons. I think DC is very smart for putting out something like this when they know that there are big things happening in the main Wonder Woman book. So we should have another book to kind of fill in the world and see things from a different perspective. And of course, also keep track of these cool characters that have been introduced in the past few years, like Yara and Faruka, and of course Nubia coming back, and Mary Marvel, who also shows up in this book. So yeah, plenty of stuff going on. Some really cool variant covers at the end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And if you have read this book, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.